Alright, Barbarian is a 2022 American horror film written and directed by Zach Krieger. And this is his first original directing debut. And it is produced by Roy Lee. And we talked about him in one of my other videos. But we got this film that stars Georgina Campbell, which is absolutely amazing and stunning in this film. And we got Bill Skarsgård, which is Pennywise to you motherfucking horror fans out there, but he absolutely kills it. And we got Justin Long. In the story, we got Tess, played by Campbell, goes to an Airbnb and she finds out that it's double booked in the middle of the night. The rain is falling down and she goes back to her car because somebody's already took the key. She sees the light turns on and she's like, what the fuck? And then she goes back up to the door and she rings the doorbell a few times. And then Bill Skarsgård opens the door. And this is where the movie is going to introduce these two characters, and they're looking at them both and trying to figure out what is really going on. And that is what is the suspense and the thriller with this movie, because you don't know if Bill Skarsgård's character is actually being sincere with Tess. Tess is having a lot of suspicion with Keith, and as a viewer, I am having the same feelings, not sure if we can trust him. And the beginning of this movie, the first 40 minutes of this movie is pretty damn good, where it's got me like on the edge of my seat, and 40 minutes went by super fast. Keith does end up getting Tess to warm up to him, and they end up sharing a bottle of wine and talking about what they are doing at the Airbnb and why they're in Detroit. And then at the end of the night, Keith goes and sleeps on the couch, and Tess goes into bed and shuts the door in the bedroom and locks it. She wakes up in the middle of the night with a noise and her door open. She sees Keith sleeping on the couch, and it looks like he's having a nightmare. And in the background, you see the door open that goes into the basement. And as Tess goes back to the bedroom to go to sleep for the night, she locks the door. When she awakens, Keith is gone and left her a note saying that he had a good time last night. She then prepares to get ready for her interview, and she goes and crushes it. She comes back to the house. As she's trying to walk into the door, a homeless man is running to her. She gets super scared, and she hurries up and gets inside the door before the homeless man can get to her. She locks the door, and now she's back in the Airbnb by herself. Tess now realizes that she has no toilet paper, and she goes adventuring the house to find some. And she realizes there's a basement, and then when she goes down there, everything is going to change. She finds a hidden door that you can open up through a rope through the wall. And as she goes down there, she finds a room with a camcorder that is pointed at a rusty bed with blood-stained mattress on it. And there is a bloody handprint on it, the wall. She then now runs out of the hidden basement room back upstairs, but she's still locked in. She then waits on the stairs, and she hears Keith coming back to the Airbnb, and she bangs on the window, and they were able to get the window open, and she gets out, and then they go back upstairs. and they go into the living room, and she tells him what she saw downstairs, and Keith is acted really suspicious about not letting her leave the house and wanting to see what's down there. And that makes you really draw questions. Is Keith the one behind the camcorder and the rusty bed and bloody mattress? And that's what I love so much about the beginning of this movie and the chemistry between Tess and Keith, Georgiana and Bill Skarsgård's very great performance between them both. As Keith goes investigates the downstairs hidden basement room, Georgiana is waiting for him, Tess, and she gets impatient and she goes down there and follows him. And that is not such a good idea because she finds another hidden door that even goes deeper and deeper into the tunnels below the house in Detroit. She ends up finding Keith in the dark tunnels down below, and as she goes and tries to help him, he is saying, no, we gotta go the other way. It bit me. And then you see the big creature come and smash Keith's head in the concrete over and over and over until it's nothing's left and Keith is dead. And then it cuts to California. And so at the time when I was watching this movie, I didn't realize how many different twists or different little turns down a different road we would go. And now this is where the movie really got me spinning my head. I'm like, wait, what the fuck is going on? Why are now we see Justin Long driving down the coast of California? Where's that house? Where's Tess? We know what happened to Keith. What the hell am I watching? That's what I was thinking. So Justin Long's character is a complete asshole, prick, motherfucker, and we find out that he owns this house in Detroit where the last time we seen Tess is at, and he has to go to Detroit and leave California because of some rape charges, and he's an actor. Kind of didn't really care about the little background story of his character, but it makes sense because you want to know that he is a complete fucking dipshit. You know, he ends up finding the basement to the house that he owns and didn't realize what the fuck is going on. And he goes down there and he's not thinking about the environment that he's in. He's just thinking about the more square footage that he can add on to his house to sell it to make it more profitable. As he goes down deeper and deeper in the basement, he doesn't realize where he's at, and he ends up getting attacked by the monster. And this creature is an oversized woman with giant milky titties that she needs a baby to suck on, and that's where this movie goes. The giant creature ends up chasing Justin's Long character into a trap where he is met by Tess, and Tess is sitting there and she grabs the flashlight from him and tells him that you got to do what she wants. You got to be her baby. And he looks at her just all distraught as all of a sudden this bottle comes down with all this hair around it with this dripping wet milk coming out of it. Big Mama comes busting in and grabs Justin's Long character and drags him out. And meanwhile, Tess has the flashlight and she is ready for escape. And now as a viewer, I'm just like, okay, alright, we got the final girl. Let's get her the fuck out of here. Justin's Long character is an asshole dipshit. Let him take the fucking fall. and let's get Tess out of here. And she slowly is able to get out of the little hole that she's in, and she takes off down the tunnel. She passes the little bedroom where Big Mama lives, and she makes some noise because of the goddamn tape measure that Justin had down there measuring the square foot of the house. And Big Mama hears her with the tape measure, and then now she's running out of the house with Big Mama on her tail. Tess is able to get out of the basement, but the basement door is locked. So she thinks really fast and says, fuck this. And she goes up to the window and she breaks through the window with her forearms and gets out. And as she is climbing out, Big Mama grabs her legs and starts pulling her back in. But that homeless guy shows up and helps Tess get out of the house and pulls her out as Big Mama looks through the broken window and does not chase her, and they take off. Tess is not having any of that. She doesn't want to take off. She wants to go back down in that house and save Justin. So she goes back inside, breaks through the window. She grabs her car keys, goes back outside, starts her car. As she does, Big Mama comes out and she rams Big Mama right through the house, and it assumes that she's pinned up against the house and the car and she could be dead. So Tess goes back inside to go save Justin. So Tess is back in the dark tunnel and she's walking towards Justin, and Justin's walking back towards the outside of the tunnel. As their lights both meet, Justin has his gun and he thinks it's Big Mama and he shoots. And right now I'm just like, motherfucker, dude, like, what are you doing? Like, everyone's trying to help you and you're fucking everything up. And I guess that's what this movie kind of really makes his character out to be, that he is a goddamn asshole, you fucker. But he does go over to Tess, and Tess isn't dead, and we're like, oh, thank God, our final girl isn't dead. And they limp out of the house, and now finally they are out of this house on Barbarian Street, or whatever it's called. And instead of getting into any of the other vehicles, because I'm sure Justin Long's character had a vehicle there, they go walk off towards the homeless man that kind of helped out before, and they go into his little cave that he has, and Big Mama breaks in and kills the homeless man, and now Tess and Justin are on the run, and they decide to go up a water tower, which, again, this movie takes you in so many different directions, like bad decisions that you shouldn't have done, but it happened so quick. And why are they going up a water tower? You already know this isn't gonna end well. They get to the top of the water tower. Justin Long's character is so scared that when he grabs his gun, he's shaking and he drops it. And so now Tess and him are on top as Big Mama gets up on top of the water tower. And Justin's Long character, says, there's only one way that I can live, pretty much. And he grabs Tess by the hair and he throws her off the water tower, and he says to Big Mama at the same time, go save your baby. Big Mama jumps after Tess and they both land on the concrete. Justin walks down and looks at them both. Surprisingly to him, he sees that Tess is still alive. As he goes and tries to help her, he says that he had no other choice and tries to help her out. But Big Mama's still alive too, and she grabs Justin by the head and puts both her thumbs right through his eye sockets and kills him. And Tess slowly looks down and sees the gun, and she looks up at Big Mama. because Big Mama is trying to take her back home and is trying to say, let's go home. Tess is saying, I don't want to go home. And she points the gun at Big Mama's head, and then cut credits, and then bang! Alright, y'all, so my final thoughts on the Barbarian. Our Barbarian was, had no idea what I was going into, didn't watch the trailer at all, just threw it on, and to my surprise, it was pretty good. My final ranking on this is going to be a 7.0. Again, glad I watched it, didn't know what I was getting into. The beginning of the movie was pretty suspenseful because did not really trust Bill Skarsgård character's Keith in it, but Georgiana was amazing in it. So, you know, the Tess character, great final girl, really crazy misbelieves there, you know, in the end of the movie. But overall, glad I watched it. Y'all, if you watch this movie, let me know in the comment section down below what you think, and hit that subscription button on the way out. Likes, peace out. Laters.